Yeah, when you guys can please tell me what we had in the last session. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vishnu. So this way, minute or two for those who can join. All right. So hello once again. So today is gonna be like practical session. It's gonna be interesting. And I want each one of you guys to follow up with me so that you guys will also gain some insight over this. So today we are going to build something useful called basic file organizer. So many apps like have downloaded folders and general document folders that get clustered with all sort of files, messages, documents, etc. Like so, what will our file organizer basically does? So like it will scan a specified directory. This is going to be our source directory for today. So it will identify the type of each file based on the extension, like if it's image, is it PNG or JPG, or is it PDF or text file or HTML or a Python code, goes on. And it will create a subdirectories name after these files. Like for example, if it's JPG, PNG, and I want that to be in the subdirectory folder called images or documents if it's text file or PDF. So it will then move the files into corresponding new subdirectories one by one. All right. So why are we doing that thing today? First thing, practical skill. So always is a common real world task that involves file system manipulation and automation obviously saves you from main manually organized files and reinforces like it, when you what we have learned when you put that practice what we have learned about partly file ops, loops, conditional formatting. We just have like a test for that. So our code today is to create a simple command line version of this organizer. We'll primarily use pathlet module for path manipulation and shuttle for moving the files. So make sure you have Python ready. Make sure VS Code ready. So no external libraries are needed beyond like we use a standard library for this basic portion. So pathlet. All right. I'll give you 2 minutes for you guys to open VS Code. Check if you have pathlet. Check everything is working. All right. So always before we start something, planning. So before we jump into the code, let's have a small plan. So the first thing shows directory. So where are the files we want to organize? So before that, I want you guys to create a sample directly, like where is dummy, create some image file, create some like put some text file, PDF, like a couple bunch of those. Yes, like you can even have a simple file, something like that. Make sure you're not manipulating the critical folders of yours. Maybe who knows your first code might even format with your files as well. Because Python has so powerful path manipulation. All right. It's the dummy thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the user for the path, the source directly where he wants to do some work, automating work. So how can the organized files be stored? So we'll create a subdirectories within the source directory itself. For example, if we have JPG, it will move to JPG as a folder name and JPG file. For simple cities, let's create subdirectories name directly after the file. If PDF, PDF folder, text folder, if JPG, JPG folder. So let's take it simple. So how is going to be code logic? To get the source from the directory path, first thing, and iterate through all the items in the source directory, second thing. And for each item, check if it's a file. Again, it should be a file, not a directory. Matlab, shouldn't be a folder. So if it's a file, gets its extension with a text, JPG, PDF. The last thing, create a destination subdirectory named after that extension and move that file into this destination subdirectory. That's it. Now the main part. Can anyone guess what we missed out? It's very critical, and it might happen any amount of times when we are coding. Anyway, anyone guess it? Also, give it 2 minutes to create a sample folder, and I won't start until someone guess the main thing that every coder should. Uh, Thank you, Pratik. Is anyone else facing this issue? Now, guys, is it clear? Sorry, it's not clear. Maybe a network issue. It's raining pretty loud here, so maybe if it's at least a little better, like I can move on. Sorry guys, just bear with me today. Next time I'll make sure I have something as a backup. I'm extremely sorry and sincere apologies. All right, let's move. Till you guys have not answered the main thing where every coder should know when he's building something. I'll give you 10 seconds, guess it up. Like guess whatever the first thing comes in your mind. Come on, guys. No. Guys, it's a critical part and the most frustrating part. What if an error happens? It's called error handling. What if something goes wrong? How you will handle that? What if the source directory doesn't exist? And what if we don't have permission to create any directory? What if the Python code doesn't have? What if a file name is the same name and it's already exists in destination folder? And it goes on. All right. So let's start with a simple code. Let's start step by step and quick. I want you guys to have this catch up with me. All right. That's one. So first thing, path it as a good path. So for moving files, we import schedule. So we implement so always when I'm building a code step by step. All right. So we'll get something by organized files as a default function. Now the last user, the source file. So it goes like path input, and we're asking the user enter the source directory path. All right, because maybe I gave the same thing here. See, now once we got the source path from the user, the next thing, someone gets me what is the next. I just told you before. Exactly. If exists, print specified directory. If not exists, print does not exist and will return. If it is not a directory, maybe it's a file. The path is not a directory. It should be a folder, not a file. Return. Then what else? Let's keep these two for now. Else. Print. source directory, source directory. So we'll even add more logic in the next step. So once you've done stating the first step, so what we have in code logic, always try to run the code, check if this exists. Forgot it. Now we'll give the example part. Yeah, it works. So for those who don't know what happened here, so from path we have imported shuttle also. Then we get input from the user and storing in this variable. And we then we're storing that variable to this source. So it converts, why are we doing this? It converts input string into a path object. So which is easier to work with. And later we're checking if this is directory to exist or not. Then if you're checking if this is a directory or a folder. So like it's sorry, it's a folder or a file. Simple as that. Yes, so Rajit, since I've told when like it is essential to convert the input string, that is what we got from the associate path, to like path object. No, I have added path method to make sure the input line, the sorry, the input the user is giving, it should be a path. It should not should be a like random line or random something. So let's for better example. So if the user has given something called like if we just put input, it will give an error, some kind of like module error, something much shorter. So better that we have to convert that into path. So when the user gives something, it always take that function as a string. Okay, all right. Any token is first, guys. First thing. So first part is now done. Now we have to iterate through files and get what are the types of extensions available in that. So how are we gonna do? So for item source directory, it should be a directory. So this thing is the children of the directory, like if it is a file or how many photos in that, and goes on. So if item is file, not a folder but file, get this extension here. So better to add lower here for consistency. Like uh, we only want to process files, not to sub directly with it. So source directly of a script like maybe not designed to organize just a folder also. So item path suffix lower gives the extension that including the dot value. That's why I give the suffix lower the end value. And that lower thing it converts into lower case. For example, if it's in PDF, it will convert into PDF. Because that's how extension works. Sometimes JPG can be like this, or can be like this, same code for PNG. Manoj, loops. If you use loops here, it will be like, why don't we use the pathway model itself instead of going to loops? Because loops will be like go one after another because we don't know how many things are left in that. So for faster, let's stick with the inbuilt model for pathways. All right. Now we have the file extension stored here. Now again, if not file extension skips files with no extension, like if there is nothing like default file, something like random that file which doesn't have any extension, we skip. Maybe like this. Let's just say we built something, so we don't know what other files got missed. And we also need a path. Print. Okay, I made some error here. Load.
At line number 22, 24, sir.
And always hit this thing because whenever I try to do fast using this code thing, so I guess I made one more error. I don't know also. Got it. So directly I got this, and I found the extension because I have this thing in the demo. Found file with extension. So instead of printing file extension here, why don't I print the name of the file? How about that? Okay, now it didn't guide me doing that. It's very simple. All right, Sivajit, you got it right. How to do that? You are right. So we'll save from the file and no, sorry. Because I made one little mistake. Can you agree with that? Because I
It
made a
should
lot
be
of
an
mistakes.
string.
Mm-hmm.
Format string, F string.
Okay. Exactly. Now you know. I will make mistakes and I want someone to catch it and follow with me so that I know you guys are going along with me.
Huh?
All right. Does anyone have any doubt until here? Shashank confused me yourself. Here, sorry. All right. Now we ask the user for the path and we made sure the path exists. Then we iterated to one and one more item and check like if the item really existed or not. And we got the name of the item with this along with the extension. And now let's create a dummy directory. No, we already have directory, so we'll create that one. So we create a destination directory and we remove files. How are we gonna do that? Now, exactly. So print organizing files, where you'll be organizing files. So let's say how many files we have. And next thing, we'll go to for loop for item in the item is file. So this is the path. The path. So if item is file and extension based on extension, but if it's not extension, there's no extension of file, and then what the item is. Continue. Moving, if the file is extension, just create a folder directory called this folder. So what the folder name should be. So if file extension starts with dot, all right, else file extension is not just like empty, it will go to like a fallback. We have to add a fallback also here. So what happens, it will remove the dot. For example, here the extension here, where is it? And always come with video. But we can have, like, we don't want dot video as a folder name right now. So we remove it to dot minus one here. If so we have to create one more date. Let's give and guys, I want someone to explain what I'm doing here because we have already gone through how path it works. All right. I guess you guys have doubt in this here. Does anyone have any doubt before I move? Does anyone have any doubt? So what we can do here is, let's make it even more elaborate. So if file extension has, we remove one dot here. So if file starts with a dot, it will remove the dot. There's file extension. Simple. So this error handling happened. Now, so destination. So this creates the path object for destination folder. So this is nothing but the path of the source file and the destination folder. So since the folder is nothing but the file extension. And now we'll try to create the destination folder. Let's say try. Let's say we should add parent. So it should be parent because we don't want it to be subdirect. So parents do what happens, it creates a parent directory if needed, not strictly necessary as if we are dealing with subdirectories. Correct. So what type of error we might get? Anyone? Who is it? And it out until here. Okay, I take that as a no. Then now we'll create this final destination part. Now we have created a folder. Now we want to move that folder. Same thing, right? So shuttle.move is generally more robust for moving, especially across different file systems. And we can even path or rename like can also work, but might fail across different file systems. So for that, let's stick with shuttle here. And error handling, let's say, let's go. And what else? Step of error, anyone? So whenever we try, let's have that error. And we might step of error. All right. Any doubt here? We did check the Surajit. And now, if files, since we have created this in here, should be more than one. And for some explanation here, if anyone has enjoyed with the underscore. All right. Okay. So we slice the extension string to remove the leading dot. The first thing we did. So dot PDF becomes just PDF to use as a folder name. All right. This thing. So we use path library operator to construct the path to the new folder, the new subfolder. And we check if the path exists or not. If destination path, parents true, if it exists true, the rotating directory. If it doesn't exist, we create one. And how we move the moving using shuttle, number of the item and the destination final path based on the string. So this is a function that actually moves a file. So shuttle move is generally preferred word path rename because rename might fail, like I said. So shuttle move first tries os.rename. So if that files, it falls back to copying the deleting source. So both paths need to be strings. That's why we have to use strings here. And the try except logs. So these are important for handling potential errors like permission, OS error. That. Any doubt here, guys? Guys, anyone can respond. Go to one by one line. Maybe I'll share the codes. Share for the two now. Might get error because I might have added something. Okay, something happened. Something missed up codes. Oh, sorry. I forgot the main thing. Because I think if main function starts like that. Okay, we got permission error. Yes. Cannot access local variable where you can also hit the bat. Because run this script in new sales, so let me know. Got this station. So it helped me where I made some mistake, which I went wrong. Yes, sir, I'll provide the code. But I'll provide the code with full of errors. I don't want you guys just copy paste and just run it. I make a lot of mistakes there, so figure it out. What are here? Basic thing, like basic normal thing. Zip only if I just minus. They're not happening here, so Right, Krishna? Correct. Mm-hmm. What's spelling rather? And 35. Just hold. Is it? Not sure too. Yes. Exactly. Got it? Okay, only Vishnu is in the code, guys. I guess. So I have this bad habit of making errors, silly mistakes, so that I want someone to point it out for me so that I can give to know that you guys are really listening to that. Exactly. So I'll share my test folder. So this is the outcome. So I had this demo JPG file, demo as text file, and I had one Excel file. Any doubt here, guys? We just made a simple file organizing script using path label and schedule. Please, any doubt, don't hesitate to ask. So what could go wrong? Like, first is the permission. The second thing, file signal extension, if you have something a raw file, the very long path name can also have custom error, special characters, and we can even implement code using some UI, logging, dry run mode, handling, finding crashes, etc. So we have successfully built a basic functional file organizer today. You can even apply your knowledge using the rules, conditional formatting, file operation to create a practical. So the key steps here were like getting user input, what it is, and we validate the path with input. Converting this into path, then we iterate through file by one. Then we extract the extension to create a new directory based on the extension. Then we move all the files respectively to the respective extension folder. So it is a great starting point, and I encourage you to try extending the program with some improvement or tailor it on your own for your own need. So any final question about the file organizer, like organizer, we just built, or the concept we use and the code we write? use VS Code, it helps you write the code easier. At the same time, it might even cause some little error like what happened to here. Or if you guys have any doubt, you can let me know. And else you guys can leave and have the rest of the night. Please make sure you guys practice. So great job today, everyone. And kudos to Vishnu for pointing that out. And next time, if I make mistakes and I want someone to point it out for me. All right. Thank you, people.